Hello guys, well, I thought I'd do another video just to go over in a bit more detail some of the games that I've got in my massive collection. As you know from my previous videos, I have over 400 games, Xbox 360 games that is. So what I'll do is I'll go over the games that in greater detail, the ones I've actually played, and there's quite a few I haven't played for obvious reasons. You have to spend quite a lot of time to get through the games that I've got. I don't have a huge gamer score either. My achievements coming close to 70,000 achievement points, so not a huge amount for the collection that I do have, but obviously I can only find real time to play these games during the weekend, and I can play up to 4 to 5 hours per week. So yeah, it makes it kind of difficult to get through the whole lot, but there's a lot I do want to still play, and I will eventually get around to them. Anyway, without further ado, I'll just go through the first 40 in this video here. So there's about 44 in this video, so there'll be a total of 10 videos to go through all the games that I do have. So let's start. So the first two I do have, the first two I'll review anyway, is the Dance Central 1 and Dance Central 2. Now I know there's, I think, 3 games in this series, and then they've got another dance dance series that they've brought out recently, which I don't have any of. I haven't really played these myself. I'm not really into the style of game, so but my daughter is, and she's thoroughly enjoyed them. She's taken a lot of time to play these, and obviously has all the modern music on there, and you can really get into it. And what I've heard is that these are excellent games for this sort of genre of gaming. So, and I think this is where the Kinect really excels with these types of games of singing, dancing. When there's quite a lot of motion in the game, it tends to play out a lot better with Kinect. So these games here work well with that system, and they come highly recommended. Well, if anything, what my daughter's, how many times she's actually played them, so she's played them quite a bit, and has enjoyed them. So just got the 2. Maybe later on I'll start picking up more on this collection, but yeah, we'll wait to see. Next game is Terminator Salvation. Obviously this is the tie-in to the movie Terminator Salvation. Played this game right through. Very short game. Got some very negative reviews on it, and I would have to say that, yeah, it is a very simple game. Not much to it, and you can easily rack up a lot of achievements on this, and a lot of people play it on hard, obviously, to get the full achievement quota on this. I don't mind it. It's kind of interesting. I mean, yeah, I mean the graphics are average, and the gameplay is very repetitive, but it had a fairly good sense of what it would be like maybe in that sort of world, so it was okay. I mean, for me it was more of a 4 or 5 out of 10. Most people would probably give it a 1 or a 2, but not the greatest, but probably not recommended really. But you can pick it up very cheap, so if you can, then maybe pick it up for the collection. Next one is Shrek the 3rd. I did actually play this game quite a bit. Enjoyed it a lot. It's sort of a kiddie sort of game, obviously another movie tie-in, and it does what it sets out to do. Sort of basic sort of puzzles, and I think there's a bit of fighting involved and things like that. And I did play it a wee while ago, so entirely I can't really think of what actually happened in this game, but I did get through. I think I might have beaten it, so I think I got through to the end of this one, which is surprising because it is a bit of a kiddie's game, and again it can be a bit repetitive at times, but okay, for the time that it was brought out. I think it was just a 2007 game, adventure style, sort of fighting style game. Next one is another movie tie-in, Ratatouille. Played a little bit of this game. Again, it's an older style game, 2006. I can see there. So played a little bit of it. A very kiddies game. I just played sort of the first segment of the game and got quite bored with it, so sort of put it down and didn't pick it up again. So I mean, if you're into this the movie, then it would have been something you'd want to play maybe, but otherwise not really recommended in this day and age, or for this year, I would say. But yeah, okay game. Next one is Rock Revolution. I haven't played this game. I do have all the Rock Band and the Guitar Hero games, all the musical games, pretty much all of them, I think, even the lip stuff as well for Xbox. So the reason for buying this was just really to get a full collection of these types of games. I've heard this one is quite a bad implementation of the music style game, but I've yet to play it, so I can't give you a full review of that. Really, I can't give you a fair assessment, let's say, of that. But at some stage, I might actually play it, so and give you a proper review of this game. Next one is another movie tie-in, Wanted, Weapons of Fate. This was an interesting sort of game. I think this was the one that had the bullet time type of system in the gameplay, a bit like the Max Payne type of thing. Didn't play a huge amount of this. I did play it when I originally got it, and got a little bit bored of it, I think. A lot of these games I sort of pick up, not at because I've really started my collection over the last 3 years. I did get an Xbox when it originally came out, but I wasn't so much into it, and these days obviously my collection's grown so much over the last 3 years that a majority of these games I have picked up at that time. So a lot of these older games I haven't actually picked up and played for obvious reasons. Obviously the quality doesn't grab my attention. Obviously when you go from something like Grand Theft Auto 5 to something like this, then it doesn't really sustain your attention, you could say. But I can see it was a reasonable game of the time. It just looks dated now, I would say, and who knows? Maybe at a later stage I'll pick up and play it again. But for the meantime, I will not be doing that. Next one, another movie tie-in. A lot of movie tie-ins in this one, but Legends of the Guardians. Played a bit of this. I was I think what I was trying to do was just collect sort of cheap achievements of this game, which managed to get a few of them. Interesting style. You play as obviously the owl, so you have to move as in a certain way, to get certain achievements, and there's certain timed events and things like that you have to go through, and it's an okay game. I mean, it could get pretty frustrating, and I think it's quite repetitive. So again, more of a kid's game, but it was okay. Next one is Ninja Garden 3. As you can see, I haven't opened this game. I haven't. This is the first and the only one I've got of the series. So yeah, I can't really give you much assessment. I do have the collectors. This is actually the collectors of Ninja Garden 3. So it's kind of an interesting game. I know it's quite a. I mentioned it was quite a tough game to play. So whether that can sustain my interest, I'm not sure, but someday I will come around to playing it, and yeah, that's Ninja Garden 3. Next one is Kane and Lynch Dog Days 2. Picked this up sort of recently and haven't played yet, so we'll be interested to find out. I've heard some sort of mixed reviews on this, so interesting to see what it's all about. Yeah, so maybe at some later stage I can give you more detailed information on that. Next one is Mortal Kombat. This is probably one of the best fighter games of this generation. Excellent graphics, and yeah, if you're into fighting, then obviously the Mortal Kombat series is the king of that. Has been for a long time, and they've really implemented it well with the Xbox. So this one comes highly recommended. I haven't played a huge amount of it. Sort of gone through the basics of it, and yeah, not too much at all. Again, but again, it's another one that I'd want to pick up again and play at a future date. Next one along is an interesting one, Truth or Lies. Picked this up mainly for easy achievements. The game's very dated and kind of silly, really. You can easily get get full achievements on this in a very short space of time and without anybody, really. So yeah, I mean, if you're into these sort of party sort of games, then this might be a good pickup, but otherwise I don't really recommend it. It's probably a 2 out of 10. So yeah, not the greatest game, but it's part of my collection anyway. Next one is Turning Point, Full of Liberty. I heard some fairly mixed reviews. I mean, this is one of those ones which sort of snuck under the radar, I suppose, for most people, and for pretty good reason. I think the gameplay turned out to be pretty average. I think the premise of the game was very interesting, and I think a lot of people sort of picked up on that, with the Nazis sort of winning the war, I think it is, and them taking over America, and the battles that ensue from that, and yeah, it's an interesting concept, and I don't think it was implemented that well in this game. I have just sort of picked it up and played the introduction of it. Seems kind of interesting, but obviously the graphics will be very dated now, as this is around 2007. As you can see, a lot of these games I do pick up very cheap. This one here I picked up from a local video store for probably around $5, something like that. So, and a lot of the other games that I've got, that I've just been through, I've picked up for very reasonable prices. I mean, the Truth and Lies one, for example, will be roughly about that sort of amount of money as well, and that's New Zealand dollars, so American it's probably equivalent to like $3, I would say, and Australian probably around about $4. So that's the sort of money that I'm spending on a lot of these games, especially the older ones that you can pick up very cheap these days. Another example of a cheap game is this one here, Euro 2008. Really just to add to the collection, picked it up for probably a few dollars, so very cheap, and haven't played it, probably won't ever play it, but does add to the collection. Yeah, don't have too much interest in their soccer games, but as part of the collection and at a very cheap cost, it's worthwhile just to pick up. As you can see, it's not in great order, and stickers on there and goodness knows what. And that's the other unfortunate things, a lot of stickers get stuck on these old second-hand games, and trying to peel them off can be kind of a nightmare, so that's why the stickers are still on that one. Another old game is, getting in focus there, is Turok. Haven't really played this on Xbox. I did play it years ago on PC, and at the time it was a pretty good game. It's a first-person shooter that you're fighting dinosaurs and other ancient beasts, I suppose. And it was a reasonable enough shooter of its time. I did pick it up to play it again just recently. It's 2007 and it is very dated. So I wouldn't obviously recommend it. You know, if you've been through some of the modern shooters, this is just going to look too dated. But not a bad pickup. I think I obviously again picked it up very cheap cost, around $5, maybe less. Good game for its time. Next one, again, similar type of thing, Ridge Racer 6. Good racer for its time. This is one of the, I think, original sort of games that came out for the Xbox. 2005, I believe, and pretty good game. It's kind of dated now though, so yeah, wouldn't recommend for today's gaming. And really same again. I mean, Legends of WrestleMania. It's not a bad game for its time, but yeah, pretty dated now. And if you like those sort of older wrestling characters, then obviously it's a good game to pick up. But otherwise, probably no other reason to pick it up. Again, I picked this up from the local video store, around $5. Now a lot of old games. So Command & Conquer 3. Strategy game, probably one of the best of its time, and still stands up pretty well these days as well. So real-time strategy. Yeah, I do like Command & Conquer, and played a bit on the PC. Mainly played a lot more on the PC actually than I did on the Xbox, but this one is in the collection. Hockey, NHL 8, again picked up very cheap, and probably will never play it. I have really got no interest in hockey games. Obviously 2008, very dated. That's that. Next one is the add-on to Elder Scrolls. This one, I mean, Elder Scrolls, great game. Yeah, probably one of the best games of this generation. if you've got Skyrim, there's no real need to be playing these sort of games anymore. I mean, the graphics really are dated, and but for its time was an excellent game, and this add-on was great as well. So I'm trying to think back to when I actually played it. It's a very long time ago. It's probably when the Xbox came out, I was playing these games. So yeah, I sort of obviously played a lot since then, and struggling to remember what exactly happened in this game, but the little bit amount that I do remember, it was an excellent tie-in to the original Elder Scrolls. Next one is Conan. Another old game, and sort of the same information I'll be giving out on this. It's really just a the graphics are fairly old now, and as I remember, the gameplay was kind of repetitive, but again, sort of mixed reviews on this, and some people like, some people don't. Next one is probably a game that a lot of people don't really know about, and it's Singularity. It's by Raven Software, and this is sort of a little gem that's out there at the moment, and it hasn't really been picked up on much. And but I really enjoyed this game. I thought the graphics were solid enough. Really interesting storyline, and gameplay was excellent as well. Had a lot of power-ups, and I think this one you could slow down time, and there was sort of like these rips in time, and sort of those sort of things. So a bit like what BioShock does, and this was the original one that sort of did it, I guess. And yeah, it was an engaging story. I just thought it was excellent. I tried to play it online, but there's nobody playing. But I sort of picked this one up later and was pleasantly surprised by it. So if you're looking for a good game, this one comes highly recommended. Alright, next one's along. The two Godfather games. The original Godfather was excellent. Godfather 2 really did not do the first one justice. I think they just kept to the same sort of formulas, and didn't really work out that well. I didn't think the graphics were any better, maybe even worse. So yeah, I mean, The Godfather for its time was a really good game, really engaging. I remember had a lot of the voice acting in there. I could be wrong, so I apologise. But there was a lot of the facial. You could recognise a lot of the facial on the characters. I'm forgetting what I'm saying now, but a lot of the characters, like the Marlon Brando, look like Marlon Brando sort of deal. So that represented the characters from the movies quite well. Yeah, I think they should have probably left it with this, but they went out and tried to make a bit more money, I think, with Godfather 2. Open world type game, Grand Theft Auto style to it. Next one is Resident Evil and Operation Raccoon City. This one I picked up really cheap. I think I picked it up for maybe $1 or $2, and it's in pretty new condition. I haven't played it, so I can't give you a review on that at this stage. But it's similar to, I think, to the other Resident Evils. Like I said, I'm not too sure. They might have changed it up a little bit. I know the reviews are quite mixed and more negative, I think, than positive. So yeah, someday I'll get around to playing it. Resident Evil, get that focus on it, 5. Yeah, the same style of gameplay. It's pretty good. I mean, this one was pretty solid, so had a bit of fun with this. Yeah, so this one comes really highly recommended as well. Can't go wrong with Resident Evil. Darksiders, heard it's a good game, but I haven't played it yet, so got it in the classic version, fairly cheap, so I'll give you a review when I play it. Next one is Painkiller. I love Painkiller, and so I decided to get this one on the Xbox. Played a lot of it on the PC. I got the collectors to this one as well, so a fairly modern pickup. This one is, and it's not really the most common one to pick up either. I couldn't get it in the local stores. I had to buy it on a local auction website, and play through it. Enjoyed it quite a bit. It's similar to all the other Painkillers. Nothing really special there. If you're not really into Painkiller, it's probably not really worth it. But if you like this style of game, then it's a good pickup. Next one's along the old classic Grand Theft Auto 4 and the episodes from Liberty City. I try to get back into this one again. I had played through a lot of it, and I don't really have a lot of the achievements on my account at the moment. I did play it quite a while ago on a different account, and yeah, I played through probably well over half of it, and then just put it down and didn't get back to it again. But it is a good game. I mean, you know, Grand Theft Auto, you can't really fail, and obviously there's so much to do in this sort of open world sandbox type thing, and yeah, you can follow it quite linear, or you can just go off and into your own sort of tangent, I suppose, and kill everything and do it in that way. But I try to play through the story part of it. A very good game. Holds up pretty well today as well, so yeah. And of course with the Liberty City stuff, I haven't played the Ballad of Gay Tony. I have played a bit of Lost of the Dam, which was pretty good as well. Yeah, maybe sometime I will play the Gay Tony one, but I haven't got around to doing that one. That was the one that really sort of attracted me, was the Gay Tony. They had a sort of video preview of it, and that looked kind of cool, but I haven't played it yet. So again, it's one of my pet gripes that I don't get around to play. You know, every game that I have in my collection, I probably, like I said, 50% of them I probably haven't played, so it'll be something I want to play maybe later on. Next two, some of my favourite games for the 360, and that's Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. Fantastic games. These, again, underrated games. Metro 2033 had a few sort of problems. It was a bit buggy, I think, and but when I was playing it, I never experienced any of that. I played it on PC, probably more on PC than I did on the 360, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Got right through it, beat it. I picked this one up again, and I because I knew Last Light was coming out and wanted to play on the Xbox. I got through to an area, and I just couldn't get through it. It was it's fairly much at the end, and yeah, it just gave me a good introduction into Last Light again, and yeah, it's still an excellent game, the 2033. So pick it up if you haven't played it before. First-person shooter in a Russian themed sort of underground railway setup, I think, or train setup area, subway area, of course. You play through there. It's nuclear. After a nuclear explosion that's destroyed the world, I think, and they've taken refuge in the subway system, and that's where it's set. And you do go outside from time to time, meet up some interesting creatures. Metro Last Light, I have the limited edition of this one, some free downloadable content, bits and pieces. I would have liked the collectors of this. Fantastic game. Right up there with my top sort of games for last year. Probably my top 5. So, well, it just really improved on the first one, and I didn't think that would be possible, but they did. I think the thing that really improved on was the story, and just the impact the story had on you, and you really have to play it to find out what that's all about. Graphics are really amazing, and weapons are pretty cool in this. There's a lot of upgrades you can do on them, etc. So a lot of replay value on this as well. But really interesting, engaging game, so well worth it. Just stretching over there to get the rest of them. Next one is Mirror's Edge. I heard a very good game. I think they're going to bring out a sequel to this as well. Picked it up very cheap. One of the best 2008 games has got up there, I think. But interesting game, well worth a pick up, and yeah, probably another sort of underrated type of title. Played this on my old account quite a few years ago, obviously, when it originally came out, and yeah, but still the graphics, like I said, hold up pretty well even for today's standards. So if you see this, buy it. Next one, Crisis 2 Limited Edition. I do have the Crisis 2 Collector's Edition for PS3, so I do have all the bits and pieces for that as well. For the Xbox, I've just got this limited edition, but it comes with a bit of downloadable content, things like that on here, etc. Now with the Crisis series, you know, it's been unfortunate. I mean, the Crisis, I do have the original Crisis and all of its add-ons, and I just thoroughly enjoyed that game. One of the best games of its time, and it was on PC when I got that. For Crisis 2, I just don't know. I just couldn't quite get into it. I don't know why. I think maybe the setting of it, maybe the way that the character's been changed. I'm not sure, but I played a little bit through it, got to a certain stage, and I just couldn't pick it up again. I don't know why. Yeah, which is a shame, because I did like the original Crisis, and was looking forward to this. Probably a little bit of a disappointment for me, but it's a solid game. Solid. Okay, just need to reach over here, so just give me a second so I can get my arms over. Okay. So, next game along we have Test Drive Unlimited.